right, I am live. Hello everybody, welcome into the shop. Just doing a little bit of cleanup today. What I traditionally have done for years here, I call them kind of time wasters. They don't have anything specific. Hello Vicky, hello Tisme, and welcome to the Rancho Workshop. A lot of you are new to the channels, the Rosie Murphy channel. Hello Samaj. Nice to see you. Hello, Stephanie, Nellen. Nice to see a lot of you are new to the channel here. Since the last vintage audio season, it typically kicks off around October, and it's my time of year where I devote to working on some of the projects that come in, some of the problem receivers, vintage audio receivers that people send in here. And they stack up during about 8 months of the year, and then I take 4 months of the year and work on them. Hello, Scottish. How you doing? How you doing, honey? Nice to see you. Those Daisy dude. These are my these are my conservative ones here. Hello, Beryl. Hello, Dawn. How are you? So you guys are just going to hang out with me today. I do have a small project to do. Joe Smith. I have a vintage 1978 Sony STR. What is this? This is the what the heck this is? STR 7065. It's one of the finest receivers made. We're going to fire that up, make sure it's in working order. And that was a yard sale buy for about $5 or so. We're going to make sure it's working okay, and then later on tomorrow or the next day I'm going to do a vintage audio listening experience, one of the things that I do on channels. Now everybody's welcome to hang out. It's not everybody's cup of tea to be in the workshop. I also got to do some cleanup in here today. I've got computer projects to work on. I've got crap load of things I got to work on here in the shop. Cobra John, how are you? I know I got to clean the darn shop up. I know. What happens in the winter months is I just throw all of the stuff in here. How you doing, Monique? Nice to see you, sweetie. I just throw all of the stuff in here, and then in come on fall and winter, I get in here, I do a good cleaning, and then I get ready for doing work. If you want to see how I built my workbench here with all of the electrical outlets, Scratch built this with a real nice surface on it. You can look, just put workbench in the search box, and you can watch the video. I think it's about 3 or 4 years ago putting that together. Yeah, inspection 2 days. It's very easy for a shop to get dirty. I don't do a lot of hangouts unless it's been noisy here. I'm getting some back noise of traffic. So let me go ahead and close that. Yeah. Oh, and there we go. There's the first drop of the day. Woo! Oh, man. There we go. Lucky my stuff is pretty bulletproof there. I would have been up on the river today, having a little more fun and tubing up there and everything, but it's a little chilly today. We had a Marine lair come over, and it's not going to be that warm today, so just go ahead. I want to close this door. I just don't have a shitload of space around around here. Mine gets trashed too. Yeah, mine just gets trashed in the summertime because I don't want to be in here. There's a zillion black widows in here, and it's hotter than you know what in the summertime. There's no AC on the Rancho because things cool down at night. My power bill in the summer runs about, my gas and electric bill runs about $40 to $50 for this whole shebang here, the whole Rancho in summertime. So saves a lot of money. People talk about the taxes you pay in California, but because we have a Mediterranean climate here, I'm saving a lot of money on Prop 13, which fixes your property tax at 1% of your purchase price forever, adjusted a little bit for bonds that are passed and other things. And also, it can be 100 degrees during the daytime, and by 8 o'clock at night, it can be 59 degrees. You don't need the AC. Hang stuff from the ceiling. Thank you, Scottish. I do enjoy the putting everything together in playlists and all that. Yeah, so we save a lot of money here. You know, we don't run a lot of electricity. I complain in November when the October power bill comes in from all the decorations for Halloween, which we do it up here on the rancho. And also Christmas time in January, I always tell Missy Jen, let me get a seat before you open the bill and see how much our light extravaganza costs here. It's about 10 Celsius in England. Boy, that sounds chilly. Yeah, yours. Hey, Gina, how you doing, honey? And there's my girl. Monique. I'm going to go ahead and finish getting this door closed over here. Just bear with me a minute. I'll move this camera just over a tad here. And I'm just going to work and you guys can hang out over here. As Missy Jen always says, she doesn't do messes here on the rancho. Let's see if I can close this door and adjust the light a little bit here. Well, this is a two-sided garage. You have the this property was built in 1956. It's a small garage. It can accommodate one car. The big double doors behind me open to the back of the rancho. I'm in Alabama and your taxes are dirt cheap. You just ordered your logs for the wood burner. There we go. Yeah, you're going to have some insane power bills and stuff, but I don't really have to worry about that. You know how cheap I am. Now, you guys remember some time ago, last fall, for those of you who are on the channel, I have a vintage 1966. It's an H.H. Scott, which is a very expensive name in vintage audio, very famous. And it blew up here on the shop, and it caused a terrible explosion with PCBs flying around. And it's one of the reasons I always wear safety glasses in the shop, because it was a terrible explosion. I captured it on video, and it just smoked out the whole shop. Missy Jen came running. You know, it's a good thing I had safety glasses on, or I would have lost my vision. Something called a big capacitor, a big electrolytic capacitor, blew up in the shot here. Yeah, the explosion was very scary, but once again, it hammers home the reason when I'm doing vintage audio work that I always wear safety glasses. And I'm always very careful, as most of my fellow vintage audio repair people, of which there's not left in the world, not a lot left in the world today. It's a very small core of people. Not a lot of people work on tube equipment anymore from the 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and into the 70s. They've passed on. It's an old generation. You don't have TV repair shops anymore. You don't have radio repair shops anymore. When I was a kid, they were common, okay? And over the years, as people have folded up their shops, I've been able to purchase their inventories of parts and things and build my own first-class vintage audio. I also do vintage mechanical repair work, too. My business is Cal Vintage Repair, specializing in vintage electrical and mechanical systems, and getting them going together too. Dee had a marathon stream that was really cool. Yeah, I popped in a bit for about 20 minutes this morning. I had a good time. I'm getting some blowback from some people that you know, had some problems with part of the stream. Look, it's not my stream, okay? It's not. I just want to put it out there. So there aren't a lot of people that are left to do this work. I have churches, typically across the nation, older churches that have older tube organs, electronic organs. They'd like to have them restored, and they sometimes send them in here to be restored. The guts of it they'll ship to me, and sometimes it comes in busted up. And the turnaround time can be a year on that. The turnaround time can be a year on that kind of stuff. So that's what goes on in the shop here. Otherwise, some computer repairs, some repair videos on other products. Is that a standalone radio in your house? Yeah, that is a 1961 Motorola stereo, 3-channel stereo console. It's considered the finest stereo console ever made in the United States. It has 3 channels, a left channel, a right channel, and a dedicated channel that's simply bass. Okay? And it is a beauty. It also, in those days, very fine manufacturers like Motorola made the decision that we don't know anything about woodworking at all. We don't know a darn thing about woodworking. Our specialty is electronics. They do a lot of police radios. They do cell phones, and they do things. Yeah, I have Spectrum. I have everything in here. I'll tell you what some of the equipment is in here. Okay. So what Motorola did was they contacted Drexel Furniture. I think that they were in High Point, North Carolina at that time. And they told Drexel, we want you guys are the furniture experts, we want you to put together our cabinets for us. Okay. And Drexel designed beautiful Danish modern, which was all the rage in the late 50s and early 60s. And you see the beautiful solid walnut cabinet that's there for that unit. I did rescue that. I do vintage audio rescues too. You can see on the channel. Just put it in. People will let me know when there's a piece. Oh, thank you very much.
Always be careful, Rosie girl. Heart, heart, mouth, mouth, heart.
Thank you, Nathan. I appreciate that on the super chat very much. You know, I absolutely adore you, Nathan. We've been together for so many years on here. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you very much. I love Nathan. Missy Jen and I just adore Nathan. Very hard worker up in Canada, Toronto. Unfortunately, I was not able to meet him. Hey, Snickerdoodle. I'm so blind. You said Murphy and I thought you were going to Murphy, not Rosie Murphy. Yeah, I got 3 channels. Jen, I hope you're doing well, honey. Anyway, I do vintage audio rescues too. People will give me tips and things, and sometimes churches. I always tell I sent out a mass thing to churches years ago. If you ever want to get rid of your church organs, the old tube ones, and replace them with solid states, I'll come out. I'll pull the amplifier unit. I'll take care of disposing of the organ. They're usually in very beat up shape. Okay, I also find local things on Craigslist that people tip me off. And I'll actually get either Bobby or somebody else to get a pickup truck. We'll go rescue. Some people rescue dogs and pets. I rescue vintage audio equipment because you know what? They ain't building that. They're not building it like that, like they used to in the world today. That Motorola unit inside I purchased, I think, for about $100. It's probably conservatively worth about 10 times that after the restoration. You can look in my vintage audio playlist. I have a 22-part, 23-part series on actually Tisme. Thank you, sweetie. Tisme tipped £4. Thank you, honey. I never knew shop work would pay off. Missy Jen's going to come out here hooting and hollering. You better get working. Hey, BWYA, I'm an amateur radio operator. Yes, my brother was. So it's always been a passion of mine. And if you look at the vintage audio, you can see where I built the wall of sound. I did not like what was on the market for featuring my beautiful collection of vintage audio receivers, highlighted by Fisher of New York City, New York, who the Avery Fisher Music Hall was named after. I did not like what was on the market, so Missy Jen designed and built our own custom rack. Earthquake proof, secured in. There's jacks under the floor for extra support. I think I've thought of everything when building that. There's also tons of playlists, tons of vintage audio listening experiences. You can crank them up and see them. I think I have one of the greatest shops, one of the greatest vintage audio shops in California, and also one of the greatest vintage audio collections in the whole United States. Okay, I'm very proud of that. That is my passion. Yeah, stereos were a couple grand. Marantz, Macintosh, Harman, Cardon, just all of them. Very, very high end stuff, and the low end stuff is interesting too. Yeah, I got some honeydews, and I can't muck around too much here. I got to kind of get to it today, but I give people a little background. The first opener of the season, which this is, it's a small, it's generally a lot of vintage audio people will rewatch this. Like I say, it's a small community. I have Sky Carl, a good friend of mine that comes into the chat, and a few other people that do that, okay? But as far as people that work on tube equipment are concerned, they're all passed on. Okay, all that knowledge has kind of disappeared, so there's very few people that are left in the United States that specialize in restoring tube equipment and stuff. Marantz, great stuff. Oh, just so many Pioneer, Kenwood, just so many great names. Thank you so much, Nathan. I appreciate your tip. Thank you, my friend. You have a wonderful one. There goes the hardest working person in Canada, right there. Never complains, never bitches about anything. Well, the service manuals on a weekly basis to all the shops in the country, and they would have big binders that they would keep these in, and then when a unit came in, all they had to do, they issued them every year. All they had to do was pull it, and it had everything. It had the schematic on the back of it. It had the name on the front of it. It had a complete part list, layouts of where all the parts are on the units. And it also, which was really nice, it would include a complete parts list on there. Okay. Yeah, my buffering. Yeah, sometimes when I'm in the shop, I'm using a substandard computer here. Buffer. Unfortunately, they sent me the wrong damn unit paperwork. They sent me the H.H. Scott 232A, and I've got the 232B. Just another part and parcel of how screwed up. You can't even get something simple sent anymore. Yeah, excuse me. I'm always going to be buffering a little bit in the shop, so you guys can hang out a little bit here. I need to clean up. I did get the parts I needed to do in the restoration and to get that unit going again. That's a very expensive unit, this H.H. Scott that I have on the bench here, but I need to sit that aside today as I do a little cleanup. Unfortunately, my tools are in the van. Okay, my tools are in the van at the car dealer. All right. So I'm very limited in the tool selection I have right now. My van is locked up in the, at the dealer. So I forgot to get my toolbox out yesterday. Yeah, oh crap is right. Oh crap is right. Yeah, it catches up when you buffer. Sometimes you can refresh. Thank you, Tim S. Nice to see you, my friend. What a wonderful person Tim S. is. Another stream sniper. Tim, I hope to meet you again down in Vegas in mid-October. Something a little nicer where we can do something for you. Come on over, hang around the pool, chill out, have some beers, and have some fun poolside there. So I'm going to go ahead as to what the equipment I have up here. I'll just go over that real quick. Okay, for you guys. I do have a significant amount of equipment up here. I have signal generators. I don't know if you can see that up there. That's a signal generator from low frequencies to very high frequencies, radio frequency signal generator. A dedicated DC power supply here. It's an old HP Hewlett Packard. It allows me to fire up tube sets, a variable power supply here, another signal generator. This is a distortion analyzer here. You can tell what percentage of your output is distortion and what is pure. This again is an old Hewlett Packard. It's a 33A distortion analyzer. It's a complicated piece of equipment to work, but it works well. A dual channel oscilloscope here. You know, you have an A channel and B channel, and you need to match them up on stereos. Another variable voltage supply, a transistor tester right here, a resistor box with various values you can dial in. This is a 1966 RCA oscilloscope here, my baby. $1. Okay, it works like a charm. And I got a signal tracer. I'm not going to go into what that's all about. I've got another FM signal generator here. And I use this Gen Core for sweeping and marking and doing alignment work on vintage audio. And same with this BK for aligning vintage audio. Okay, so that's basically the work I have. This is a variac. It varies the voltage, so I can bring it up very slowly when I'm working on a piece of electronic equipment to try to avoid explosions like happened right down here. You can see right in there. That just totally blew that up, that package of caps. And it had one of these metal shells on it, and that metal shell totally disintegrated into a zillion pieces, and it's lucky it didn't take my eye out. There was one on this one too. Okay, very, very, very dangerous. This is all high voltage, 450 volts here. This shit will kill you. Tube stuff will kill you. Solid state stuff won't kill you. Tube stuff will kill you. The voltages. You touch the wrong thing, and I'll explain what happened and how some of the old repairmen got zapped. Because they'd be drinking in the shop. Okay. All right, let's explain this, because this is a pretty freaky thing that happens, and it happened once in a while. Let me put this thing up here. I don't want that to fall off. Let's see. Let's get me into the picture. Come on. Try not to knock that off. Original Al, how you doing? Yeah, there was a terrible smoking. I think one of my mods may be able to see that. It's called Explosion in the Shop. A terrible explosion with PCBs and all sorts of chemicals released in the air, and it was awful. Good thing I had safety glasses on that day. They're going to happen. It's a part of doing vintage audio work. Now, how do people get electrocuted? Shop guys, late afternoon, 1950s, 60s, they're just drinking a beer. And they forget when you work on these sets and they're on you, I got to always keep one hand behind your back and just use one hand to do your testing, probing with your voltage meter and all that. Sometimes they get sloppy and they'll use two hands. Well, guess what? Guess what this path traces here between your two hands? It's the shortest path to your heart. And what actually happens when 450 volts hits you, it's not like 120 where you can kind of let go. When you get hit with 450 volts and up, your muscles seize immediately and you cannot let go of the part. Consequently, because your muscle, okay, and these guys would just be keeled over, right? And that would be it. You get kind of sloppy when you become a professional sometimes, you know, and it's this shit is very, very unforgiving. I think the stream is on. Yeah, I'm buffering. Yeah, not much I can do about it. Yeah, I think I'm still the same. Let me see if it's still going here. Buffering? Yeah, just refresh there if you're having a buffering. Refresh. Just refresh. Okay, refresh your browser. It's very dangerous work. It's very dangerous work. Some of these big capacitors, like the ones that blew, they're rated for 450 volts. You might find one on the floor of your shop, you go to pick it up, and you get kicked on your ass. Why? Because it holds a big charge. Okay? Am I here? Yeah. Do you have any RV receiver? What do you handle? What you handles? Winky, what's that mean? An RV receiver? Yeah. So it's no kidding. It's no messing around. My friend, the boss, is an industrial electrician. Okay, an industrial electrician. He works in a refinery. Okay, down on the San Francisco Bay Area. With the heavy need they have for electricity in panels, he works on panels that are 20 to 40,000 volts. You go in there, you wear something that looks like a spacesuit. It's silver. You have a welder's mask on and stuff, and you have very heavy gloves because sometimes things arc out and they fry somebody there. It's very, very dangerous stuff. I just did a video. Yeah, thank you, Carl. Carl knows. This is what I was talking about. Sky Carl is one of my wonderful, beautiful friend, beautiful person from the vintage audio and also from the electronics. And how many people do you know that built a plane in their home? I'm not talking about a model plane. I'm talking about a full-size airplane in his house. Okay, interesting. You think I'm a freak, man? This guy is a super freak. All right, he knows electronics like nobody's business. Next time I'm at the Great Lakes, I'm going to make a point to go hang out with Carl. He's around the Toledo area. I just didn't have the time to swing through there. And tell you the truth, I was road weary swinging through there. Yeah, it's like you've got to check out. You've got to check that out. And I'm very sorry for the buffering today that's going on. Sub him up and look at his airplane build. Okay, I mean you got to have the balls the size of basketballs to build your own airplane. Okay, and unfortunately, I think health concerns took over, and the expense of getting it FAA certified. You can't just put anything in the air. Going through the airworthy tests and all that, I think it just became impractical at that point. But he's a fascinating individual. He does really cool build projects and things like that. And to mention all that, and beyond that, he's a really nice person too. And he's had health issues that he's overcome. Jen introduced him to the Moringa. And I think he's very happy about the result of that. Let me make sure. I'm going to go clear another computer. Give me a couple minutes. I might be not unknowingly online and sucking a lot of bandwidth. I should not have that difficulty here. I'm on a direct connection here. Yeah, I'm hardwired. Is that? Oh, am I on that? Let me see. Yeah, I'm on a connected here, and the whole Rancho is hardwired. You can see videos on that. It all hardwired for high-speed internet in all the buildings here. So I will be back in a second. Let me just turn that. But like I say, one thing Missy Jen doesn't like. She doesn't like coming into the shop and tripping over crap in here, so she's kind of. She knows it. She knows it's that time of year. Okay. Okay. I just want to go check. I might have something else that's downloading or uploading, so just bear with me a minute. All right. Oh man, can you imagine that, coming home and telling Missy Jen, I think I'm gonna go out to the back 40. I'm gonna build an airplane. Too funny, you know. But that's the kind of gifted person that Carl is. How you doing, Vanessa? Nice to see you. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set this project aside, and Carl is familiar with this. Sometimes things take a matter of years, literally years, to get completed, you know, because you get so backed up with other stuff. So I'm going to get this thing off of here. These things are very heavy. You can see underneath it here. You better know what the heck you're doing when you go poking around the bottom of one of these babies, okay? Especially when there's fire in the hole yourself, unless you're experienced doing it. So, okay. Taxi down your street to take off. Yeah, can you imagine that? Let's clear off. Let's get the cops to hold the traffic in the ghetto here. Hold up a minute. I'm going to set this aside over here. Okay, and that'll be in a good safe location here. And I need to find, I don't have a lot of my tools, so I can't do a heck of a lot today. I can do some cleanup. Yeah, yeah, you gotta, you know, what the trick is, it's actually a lot harder than it looks. They give you something called a schematic, and basically all the lines are just wiring, and it's up to you to figure out which section has gone bad. Usually it's a tube or a big capacitor, you know. Or worse than that. Yeah, the chassis is really clean, Carl. It's a wonderful chassis, but like I said, Carl, this is the first time in years. And I've bought dozens of manuals from from Sam's, Howard Sam's Technical Bulletins, Photo Fact Folder. This is the first time they've sent me the wrong service bulletin. So just shows you the state of the world today. It's disappointing. I can download the book online. I like to have a hard copy in my hands of the original. And sometimes I like to change out some values and things. It's a little easier. If you're going to work on electric stuff, why not squirt some water all over the floor and make it a bit more interesting? There you go. I could play some Russian roulette with it. This is by my good friend Cheryl Coyote down in Clovis, California. And, you know, I get people to send me... when they go to thrift shows or something, or yard sales, they'll find things like vintage knobs and things, and they'll send them to me. So I'm very happy. Yeah, Carl's like, I've taken off from a road in the country. Man, Carl, you got some kind of guts, my man. I'll tell you. You got some kind of guts. So... gonna go ahead. I will be having a later hangout on O'Kelly tonight, so if y'all want to be on tonight, put that aside. So I got all the tubes for that sitting here. Try to get some of these. Try to get some of this stuff cleaned up today. I got fishing stuff in here. I got everything in here, and you got to have a good working surface. Dicey but thrilling. I remember when the RCA factory closed. I remember when the Zenith factory closed. It had to be like 1983 or something. And Zenith was one of the names of excellence. I mean, a guy named Carl somebody or something was the guy that first had the breakthrough for broadcast stereo, where you could have two channels being broadcast, and he solved that issue. I think he died a couple years ago, didn't he, Carl? Can't think of what his name was, but what an interesting problem to broadcast a channel and a B channel on one frequency, so to speak. So it vexed engineers for decades. Okay, and he's the one that solved it. Zenith was unbelievably good. Okay, some of Missy Jen's stuff that she purchased here. I don't know. Anybody want a Burberry? Zenith was good stuff. Anybody want a Burberry, huh? Burberry. You gotta be nutty, that's it. I don't know who the guy was, Carl. He was an engineer at Zenith, and he finally figured out how to get 2 channels with a sub-frequency for it. So very interesting. I like to cover that history on my channel of that. So I'll be continuing that series coming up this winter on that. All right. Let's see. You gotta have, Carl will tell you gotta have a good work. Cab 7!
Nothing like a gal that can take control of her own workshop.
Cab, come on over. I'm going to bring all this crap to Lebanon, PA, or wherever you are, and just dump it all off. Thank you, my friend. And, yeah, what can I say about Cab 7? Another channel that I really think that you guys should be subbed to if you're not. Here's a guy who put it out last night for a year and a half to come on to YouTube every morning and every night for one purpose and one purpose only: to lift people up in the community, to take people that are down at the mouth, people that have health problems, people that have financial problems. This guy's raised money for people a couple $1,000s to get into an apartment, hundreds, thousands, and thousands, and probably tens of thousands of dollars poured into this community. He runs absolutely one of the best talk channels on YouTube. He's a person, like I enjoy being for the most part, a solo person, because he can carry a show. Entertaining. When I discovered this guy, I could not believe that there was such a veteran. Okay, had his own medical issues, continues to have his own medical issues, and I was very sad to see his hangout yesterday, where somebody had actually taken him to task for a very small slip that he made, a mistake that he made on his channel, and beat this man into the ground. And I was proud to be in that chat, stand up for him and tell him, you know what, my friend, you are loved. All right? Do not let one bad apple in a whole bushel of apples spoil the whole deal. Okay? As I told you yesterday when I super chatted, you tack into the wind and sail on, my friend, and do exactly what you do. I love his painting streams. I feel like crap some mornings. I'll turn on his streams, and it's a place for positivity, which is a rare thing. And there is his channel. Sub him up and tell him Rosie sent you if you're not subscribed to his channel. He is the antidote to a lot of the dragging and a lot of the things that happen on YouTube. So I really appreciate it. He's loved by many. How you doing, Anna Hitchcock? So he's kind of like me. I've been doing a morning thing for over 7.5 years. Never missed a morning on YouTube. So he's following right in my footsteps of putting something up every single day without fail. That's the kind of person that he is. Hello, Nature Man. Nice to see you. And I love to see people come on my channel like him, not because he super chats me, because we're probably two people that punt the same money back and forth here on YouTube. Because sometimes you want to hit that super chat and you want to make a statement that bangs out from the chat. And I can tell you one thing, this is a guy that dips into his pocket on a regular. And I don't think he's born to the purple and royalty and puts it out there, okay? So he is a great guy. Great man. Somebody I admire and will never be the type of person that he is. Okay, so that's what I say. Let me go ahead and so thank you, Ben, for that. Much appreciated. I'm going to go ahead and take this outside and shake this off. I got a beautiful workbench here. It's been through the mill, but it's a great workbench. What's wrong with Cassidy? I don't know. It's something I was worried about her in the storm. Yeah, I'm sexy for my girls. I got my Winky in here. I got my Scottish. All my girls. I'm going to rent out the old Playboy Mansion and get all my girls together, huh? All right, let me go put that. Well, I'm just saying, we travel kind of the same roads. Ben, just you tend to make wiser decisions than I do, and you never really get down in the muck of stuff, and that's to your benefit. Let me go shake this out here, okay? So make sure you check him out, his morning stream and his evening stream. You can't leave there without a smile on your face. It's impossible. And he's got a great core of people. Green Bay Wacky, Francis's Supernatural World. He has a great group of people. Alright. And he's one of the last people that's really willing to put his butt on the line in this day and age, running... hey, how you doing, Diane? Running GoFundMe's for people. Okay. You talk about putting your head right behind the mule's hind leg, baby. Right there. Right there. Still willing to do that kind of stuff in this day and age. So, you know, amazing person. I didn't think they made him like that anymore till I came across his channel. A beautiful person. All right, let's get ready to get set up. Let's get this stereo fired up here. Make sure she's still firing. And let's see, I need my input cable here. What a mess this is. Here, this is like unbelievable. Let's see what I got here. Yeah, this is it, I think. This is like the mad scientist workshop here, I know. I got so many projects backed up. I got people yelling out, where's that? Alright. How is that? There we go, that's what I'm looking for. Monique's like the old broad, man, the old 60-year-old broad. Yeah. Gotta have that energy. Hiya, 60 and I can still bring the mail, baby. All right. My girl Monique and I are fixing to go to some sporting event and just scream our asses off over there. Okay, let's see. Let's see. I can fire up my phone here. Wire's the key to success. Yeah, the old broad is built like a, you know what. Let's see if I'm going to be able to fit this thing in here. I want to drive this unit. I'm not sure if that's going to, yeah, I think that'll work okay. All right. You gotta pop some music. I don't like to use anything off the air these days. My team, I know, so far they're you know, you'll be feasting on the Orioles by the end of this weekend. Let's see. This is a big, heavy unit here, and I'll bring you guys in to take a look at it. It definitely needs a blow job. Okay. I don't have any compressor at the moment. Okay. If I had to choose a stereo receiver line, it was still affordable and would be face receiver here. Sony. And Sony was like the quiet manufacturer of the 1970s, 60s, 70s, 80s. They didn't build for a lot of flash, but they built for quality. Let's plug this in for a minute. For here, this is already a unit that's been restored. You can see the nice dial face there on it. I'll cut the lights. Cut the lights a minute. You can appreciate some of the beauty of the unit. Let me put this over here. People always say, "Why do you like vintage audio stuff?" Well, there's a lot of romance to it. Sitting in a room with a tube receiver with the tubes lit up, and although this is solid state, it's still a wonderful, wonderful unit here. Okay, so we're going to check this out and see if this thing is going to be okay or not. Let me just sit you guys right here. And I'm going to go ahead and get this, pardon me, I know I'm jerking you guys all over the place. Let me get my, let's see if we can sit this, oops, we just froze that. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. All right, guys, sorry about that. Put that back over here. All right, I think that might be back on. I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's see, get that thing in, Benny. See my old big head there. There we go. Okay. I think that's kind of got it. Sorry about that. Knocked that thing right off of the stand there. Get this set up over here. That thing is very, very, very shaky when it comes to setting that up. All right. There we go. Okay, back. Now I am officially back. Sorry about that. That connection sucks in here. All right, there we go. Let's fill up the whole frame there. Yay! I am back. All right. We're going to go ahead and we're going to fire this off. We're going to hook up a couple speakers now, make sure we're getting some sound out of here. I got some Bose bookcase speakers here. Let's go ahead on my speakers AB here. Right side and left side. I don't even know. You know what makes me mad? All of my tools, all of my darn tools are in the van. And doesn't that just suck? All in the van. Yeah, I can't wait till Monique has streams. If she's going to be down streaming in Acapulco, baby, I am there. I'm there with my girl down there. Let's go ahead and set this baby up here. All right. Sony, just such simple setup here. I really like it. You don't have to use the crazy clips like Pioneer uses. All right, let's go ahead and set these speakers up. And let's see if we can get something out of this baby. This thing should be firing good. You never know though, having this sit around the shop. Yeah, I can't wait till Monique runs streams. She has a great personality. And she's a lot of fun, you know, and she's funny as shit when the stuff that she posts and stuff has me just almost in tears, laughing sometimes. All right, let's go ahead at here? Let's see, what does Monique say? I think we're gonna keep it stateside. Oh, okay, yeah, because of passports. I hear you. I hear you. We have a lot of people that have had issues with the legal, and I'm certainly one of them over the years with our fine judicial system and other things. All right, here we go. Let's get this other one down here. Where in the hell did that? I hear you. Yeah, keep it stateside. Even a place like Padre Island or something like that would be good. There's Missy Jen. How you doing, Jen? Oh, I think the Missy just caught me dicking off in here. I think she just, yeah, passport costs went up as well. All right. Yeah, because I can see my girl Scottish down there too. And Scottish and me, we got kind of a thing. Me and Winky, we got a thing. Me and Monique, we got a thing. All right, let's get this set up. We got a thing. We got a thing. That's my girls. That's the Rosie Rockettes, man. That's it right there. Let's get that. These girls like somebody that's good with their hands, baby. I don't know. That's pretty sketch hookup, but I think that'll do the job. Let's see if we get anything out of this bad boy. Oh, man. Just make sure our volume's all the way down. Is a good way to lose your hearing. And let's see. Oh,
Hands up if you're down to get down.
I got to be careful with YouTube. Let's see. We got the A speakers here.
That you have. Now, a lot of people that I interface with throughout America as I travel begin to share with me some of their frustrations, what keeps them up at night, and financially speaking, there's a lot of people that worry about their money.
Yeah, we all worry about our money, don't we? Go up the dial, see what we got here. Let's go up the AM dial. And I'm going to have to put an FM antenna on.
For moments in your life, birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, we'll never pressure anyone to buy because we don't work on commission. Everyone on our sales team is a jewelry expert. So not only will we offer great ideas for gifts and engagement rings, we'll also teach you...
Turn this off, or else you incur the wrath of Missy Jen. All right. Who's not real happy about me messing around anyway today. So, let's see here. Okay, there we go. Get that. Oh, it's a pain. Okay, we'll get rid of the, just block it. That's fine. All right. Let's see if we got something over here.
.io/.
No accidents whatsoever.
It's because they know their routes inside and out.
We'll do every portion, every delivery somewhere, so we'll know every delivery, every crack in the sidewalk, believe me.
While the job of a mail carrier might largely be the same as it was years ago, the postal system itself has changed over time. Technology has allowed customers to track packages in real time.
We get text messages on our scanners. They'll know that it's coming. They're waiting for you at the door.
And with more people ordering things online, the type of mail they deliver has changed too.
A lot more packages now.
You might wonder where's the balance control on this thing.
But one thing that's remained the same is the relationships they've made with the people they interact with.
If you want to have tape players,
to watch their children grow up, and then
you want to have tape players or phonos, you can source them here. Okay. AM, FM, phono, auxiliary.
This is Dave Ross on the CBS
All right.
News Radio
You
Network.
got the stereo.
The gunman behind the latest
You've
shooting
got the loudness filters for
So,
filtering
how
out
do you get
high
this gun?
tones and low tones, the treble, bass. You can run 2 sets of speakers with this. Okay. Actually, you can run a drive 3 sets. And the balance is actually right here. Which is,
Forget what the law requires. The laws don't appear to be working. What are your
you hear
own
it gone from
standards
one
as a
side to
gun
the
seller
other.
for handing someone a weapon that can effectively fire 40 rounds a minute and kill somebody 1,500 feet away, like the weapon that was used in Texas? Would you sell to a complete stranger? What if that stranger had posted creepy pictures posing with guns? Or if he had a social media feed filled with threats? Would it matter if he'd been diagnosed with mental illness, or whether he'd already bought 25 similar weapons? Or if his own family was afraid of him? Do you ever Trump? I don't remember.
10 years before, but for sure by 5 years before they retired, I could cure a lot of this.
They just the trim panel off, and it comes out. You know,
There's no limit to where our imagination can.
Sounds pretty good. See if we get anything off that. Oh, that FM, man. That FM is cooking. Man, Sony's got great detectors for FM.
Something like this. This is going to Douglas, Arizona, and friends also in Tucson, Arizona. It's a Raza de
Oh, it might be
Douglas in Tucson.
dedicated to us in Los Algodones.
To get together on Sunday Tardeada, September the 15th, and
Listen to how clean that sound is. Amazing.
I'm also a slow reader, so you're spot on about
I am too. I start a book and I'll go 3 pages.
Man, this thing's picking up everything. Sony is so good, Tasha. I love Sony. Got our meters here. How you doing, Tasha? And I bet that's over in Modesto.
I hit a car.
Ah, Michael Bolton. Ah!
Estoy seguro que las noches me recuerdas y los labios tú te muerdes.
So you're in Santa Rosa.
Gonna miss my love. Yes, you will, baby. When I'm alone. Changing. Through the dark, through the door.
Man, what a nice
Through where
sound.
no one's been before.
Nothing like a Sony, guys.
Like home. Even if I can sneak up your back, nobody's even looking me in my eye.
Hey, Jack Thompson, how you doing, sweetheart? Nice to see you.
another Beatles break.
Talent. It's a very identificado.
that sounds pretty good. Let's see if we can drive some music from the input off of the phone here, the MP3. So bear with me a minute, guys. That's awesome news, Tasha. That's great news. Jack Thompson, my sweetie. Nice to see you, Jack Thompson, the Virginia gentleman. Let's see if we can set this. Let's see if we can set this up now. Okay. You guys a better vantage point here. Put that over here. Let that sit there. Oh, don't fall off. Don't be a butthole. I'm awesome with my hand. Jack Thompson, I'm really glad to see you around. I haven't seen you in a hot minute. One of the true gentlemen of YouTube, and a guy who has always had my back. One of the real sweethearts. Yeah, don't give anything away. Send it to me. Never give away quality electronics. Right, Scottish? So let's go ahead and see if we can get this fired up here. I'm using my new Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. Let's do a little Tchaikovsky's War of 1812 Overture. I think we got the bench pretty well cleaned up today on here. It should be a fun way. Should be a fun way to kind of end this. I want to get this in a position where we can just hear with some stereophonic. I don't want to disconnect the damn thing. Okay, let's see if that's going to sit up there. Just have that right there. See if we can just drive this baby. Make sure our inputs are all working good there. And there she is, a beautiful Sony. So give me half a second. Give me half a second and I'll get this thing all fired up. Prepping, how you doing, sweetie? Nice to see you. I miss it. I love this technology. These beautiful silver face receivers. Look at this, man. This isn't any black box here with crappy blue digital readouts, man. This is the real deal. This is beauty, man. This is the zenith of beauty and technology right here in one. Okay, bear with me a minute, guys. I got to get something set up. Alright, let me just make sure this thing is set up, and I'm only going to do a minute or two, and then I'm going to pull out the little one-tube wonder. This is a great audio listening experience, as well as very beautiful when you hear the War of 1812 Overture on this little 1 watt tube amplifier. Blows people away. Let's see. War of 1812 Overture. Let's see if we're going to get this baby fired up. Let's get our input set up on it. Yeah, Tchaikovsky. I usually use Tchaikovsky to do my testing because there's such a broad frequency range. Let's get our input set up here. Make sure we got the inputs. Let's try it through the phono first. Let's try it through the tape. Let's see. Let's put it through the input here. We got our phono. Let's go ahead and see what we get here. Let's try putting this baby to. Let's try driving this thing. All right, this should avoid a copyright issue here. Let me turn the volume down. Let's put that on. put this thing to phone. Oh, this, I might have to remove it from the case. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to have to take this thing. I'm going to have to take the case off of this phone. Hold on a minute. Alright, let's go. Yeah, it's a beautiful unit, isn't it? I'm going to have to remove the case. It doesn't like this cable going into it. Let's go ahead and put that in there. Alright, that should work it. Too much space. Let's put it in the other output. Let's put it in the other tape output here. Let's find the right area. Let's put it in the auxiliary here. Skip the ad. Let's see. We'll have to run it through the phone now. Need to kind of run it through there. Try this again. We'll do a couple minutes, then we'll cut over to something really cool, okay? Through some Bose speakers. Bose bookshelf speakers. Does that sound clean, Stephanie? Running a little bit of a high pass, low pass filter on it. This for testing. How you doing, news unit? What's up, Dave? Because it has such a broad range of frequencies. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, we're able to drive that, so. Sound. Let's go ahead and disconnect our speakers. I'm going to show you guys something really cool here, okay? This is the smallest tube amplifier they ever built in stereo. It's a little 1-watt unit. It's also called the Widowmaker because it'll kill you, this unit, because it doesn't have any grounding in it. So, alright, we'll use this as our platform here, just like so. Let's unplug this unit, isolate it. Okay, you're going to love this, man. This is really cool. This is called a True Test Stereo 5. And this is called the little dynamo here. Look at the size of this baby. Let me bring you guys in to take a look at this thing. Alright, look at this baby. For teeny tiny. Look at this unit. Isn't that cool? You got your left channel, your right channel, your two output tube left channel, right channel. You've got your big amplifier tube there, and you've got your detector tube on here. This is really a very cool thing. I've done some, it's tiny. Look at the size of this thing. But this baby is a powerhouse. It's not necessarily the watts that you're putting out. This is a 1 watt unit here. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up. We're going to tie the speakers into this. We got to be careful. This is a very dangerous unit. For its size, it doesn't have any grounding inside of it. So, alright, let's go ahead and hook up the speakers here. You're going to love this. We'll blow Tchaikovsky through this. And this will really do a number here. Okay, let's go ahead and hook down our speakers. Let me find my... Sorry, all my tools are in the van. I can't do a hell of a lot. Alright, this is going to be a really cool experience. When you hear this baby is an ass kicker. Just remind yourself it's 1 watt. Today's stuff is 250, 200 watts, 1,000 watts. There's one side hooked up with the speakers. This is definitely going to be worth it, this show. This is one of my audio things that I've had the most comments on of anything I've done. And it's one side hooked up. Let's get the other side hooked up here. I love this little unit, man. I just love this thing. I have so many offers to buy this thing. I will never sell this unit. This is the epitome of cool right here. And when you see these tubes glow and pulse when the music's playing, that's why I love the romance of tube equipment. Let's go ahead and fire this baby up. And if you enjoy the content, thank you very much. Give a thumbs up. Taxes are never collected. Out in the back. Let's go ahead and put some fire in the hole. Alright, this is good. This is gonna be it. This is gonna be it. We'll put our inputs over on the side here. Alright, we got our left channel and right channel. Inputs. Be careful, this thing's not grounded. This baby will kill you. Okay? Alright, there it is. Alright, this baby puts on a hell of a show here. So let's go ahead and plug it in. Let's make sure our power's off, our volume's down. There's our plug here. Alright, let's make sure she's going to be working. Let's put our power to it. Boom. Okay, let's let the tubes light up a minute. On there. It's going to take a minute to warm up. Make sure our tubes are all lit. They seem to be coming to life. Let me turn off the lights for a minute, make sure that's lighting up. Yeah, all of our tubes are lit up. So let's go ahead and crank her, huh? Got our inputs in here. What's going on? Oh man, hold on a minute. We got technical problems. Let's unplug her for a minute. Make sure our connections are good. Make sure all of our connections are good to go. Make sure none of these speaker cables are shorting here. That should be okay. Hope I don't have a bad tube on this thing. Now let's fire her up again. wear safety glasses. There's the Missy. Let's try it again. Let's see what we get here. Okay, I got all my speakers hooked up. Yeah, I don't know why I'm not getting the output. You can just hear it faintly. This thing should be drilling, so obviously wonder if one of the tubes went bad. Well, I got you all guys all excited for nothing. Oh, just my luck. Boom, 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 boom. Maybe I can turn the volume up here. Hold on a minute. Oh, it's in here. Okay, hold on a minute. All right, we'll start from the beginning. Enjoy, guys. Enjoy the show. You'll be watching blue pulsing on here and everything. Now you wonder about the romance of tube technology. There it Listen to that baby, 1 watt. And this thing really gets cranking at the end. Watch these blue. The mad scientist. Listen to this part coming up with the little tambourine and the little snare drum. There you go, Lee. French horns. That's it, my girl Scottish. Works these days. Thank Thomas Edison. One. How you doing, Julie? Hey, Kool-Aid Jimmy, how you doing? Give life to Berg Super Chat. Woo! Twice the person I am, honey. It's a hell of a composition. Written to commemorate the Russians holding off the French at Borodino. And of course, they ultimately lost. They made their way to Moscow anyway. I have to give Missy Jen a chance to yell at me for dicking off in here. Gotta give Missy Jen a chance to yell at me. Missy Jen said, get to work. Da, 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 da. The Romance of Tube Stereo. All lit up. Missy Jen's always got her eye on me.
Etsy is the place to find new favorites.
Man, they put an
Things we hold on to.
ad right in the middle of it.
Sold by real people and made for all of life's moments.
Hello, Karina. Get ready for our big finale here. It probably got struck on the doll. It'll be okay. That's right, Carl. That's correct. Well, that didn't work. Let's get ready for our big finish. What a guy, Tchaikovsky. Dun, dun, dun. Music to make love by. Ring those bells, baby. Big finish, here we go. Monique. Love you, my girl. 1 watt. I will see you guys tonight. Thanks for being in the shop for a nice Saturday time waster. See you tonight.